All right, there's been several movies done about the president and what is all transcribed here in America, but this next film, I think, does it better than anybody. Amanda and JJ joining me to talk about the plot against the president. And it seems like almost from the point he came down the escalator in New York City to announce his candidacy, the world had a plot against this man.
Yeah, they did, and that's because he threatens the establishment and many of the other powers that be, and a lot of that's been exposed in the last 4 years. I had the pleasure of working in the Trump administration, and so I was able to work amongst a lot of the people who were affected really badly by this hoax, right? In addition to the American people who have been, who for many years were tricked into this Russia obsession that took our eye off the ball of actual issues, and the whole administration, running around having to act like, we're not compromised by the Russians. And so I had a real reason for going in and exposing this and making this film.
So walk me through the process, how you guys did this and how you documented it all, the storytelling that's involved in the film process. How long did it take?
We actually did it in record time. I mean, we made this movie in less than 100 days, which I do not recommend. Like, don't do that. That is not normal. But we did it, and we optioned Lee Smith's book before it came out, which is the best-selling book by the same title, Plot Against the President. And, we had amazing source material to work from.
Yeah. JJ, what's your role in all of this?
Okay, so I'm the producer, and Amanda's the director. I mean, Amanda's also a producer, but we'll say she's the director for now because that's mainly her focus. But the thing is that my role really was, I knew a lot of people in the government, and I also knew a lot of people in LA, and I do a lot of production. And people in DC, I would say, don't really have access to people that are the real talents that can make these kinds of films and that are trustworthy. And so really my initial role was to sort of go out the kind of people that could actually make this film and make it as spectacular as it came out. So, and would serve as a director, which is Amanda.
Right, and to do it all in less than 100 days is, I don't know how you guys are still friends at this point. How do you do something like that
It was
quick?
accelerated. It was an accelerated pace.
Yeah. Okay, because it seems like, there's always some type of controversy thrown at the president. And that was probably one of the biggest ones. But little did we know at that point there would be a lot other ones that would follow even that claim with the Russian hoax.
Right, and I think that's one of the reasons why we did this. Is it's a concise, chronological explanation of how the Russiagate story was absolutely false and proven false by Devin Nunes and his team. And it's important to lay that foundation because right after Russiagate, they went into Ukraine, and then they went into COVID, and then they went into, and now we're in like the 8th impeachment on just thoughts. I mean, so it's important to see their pattern because they do it again, and they're doing it right now. They're doing it with all of, I won't get into it because we can't, but they're doing it with the labeling of the supporters, everybody you see here at CPAC, all the people that love the president, of casting suspicion on them, which is what Russiagate was, casting suspicion on their political enemies, and that's what they do.
And cancel culture, and that was the theme of the conference this year is cancel culture, and of course conservative outlets like ourselves have been susceptible to click delete, in this era. There's even something I saw today to boycott Hyatt, the Hyatt Regency, for even hosting an event like this. And so God bless Hyatt because we've added hundreds of workers that are now employed that wasn't employed before in local restaurants. So it seems like it always backfires. How can someone get a hold of this film and watch it? I told you it's been, 3-4 months ago, it said you've got to watch this film. And I've got kids and I've traveled and it's been I got to apologize. Open disclaimer, I haven't watched all of it yet, but I will. But how can somebody get a hold of it?
Well, I can answer that, which is, so initially it started out for free and it's still free on Amazon Prime. And we've got it on iTunes now, and it's on YouTube. And I would say the iTunes version is probably the one to watch. But if you're on Amazon, it's free. So, it's pretty available. It's been a massive success on Amazon. It's probably their top documentary. It's got over 15,000 reviews. And I was going to say one more thing, which is this is a time capsule. It's incredibly important that people watch this because it is documenting something that probably wouldn't have gotten documented had we not finished it before the end of the election.
Yeah. One final question. I would imagine with all that's going on right now, is your cameras rolling? Because we need to document, maybe it is, and we don't have to get particular on what's going on right now, but we're in a moment in time that this whole movie that we are living in
I feel
right
like
now.
you live in a movie right now, don't you?
I'm waiting for the ending, and I
So
can't.
that's actually the answer, is that I like to have a little bit of distance between myself and the occurrence, right? Whatever it is we're doing the documentary about. I believe that this is still unfolding, and you don't want to go off and make the definitive documentary about something that happened while you're in the middle of it. For me, that's my style. So what I would say is probably close to the end of this year is when we would start looking at piecing together what happened here. It is the most important thing we can look at. It is unbelievable. And luckily, I also happen to work in Nevada during the election, so I'm very familiar with what happened there, and I've got friends in every single other state. So it was. We've got a bit of an inside track into that as well.
Yes, you do.
And our production company actually is kicking off in the next few months. All the rest of the new projects we'll be doing, we're looking at doing 3 to 5 new full-length documentary flagship products, in addition to issue-based content and,
Top secret.
Yeah, for now, top secret,
Well,
but you'll be hearing a lot from us.
I've got an idea. How about a documentary on a great little network right here that we took from the
You
ground
know
up,
what?
grassroots, and all of a sudden
And
we got more. Here's what's
Yes.
really funny. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it boldly right now. I had somebody come up to me yesterday that had no idea who we were, and they said, "Well, do you have any viewers?" And so I paused for a second, and I looked down Media Row, both ways, and I said, "Well, outside the big guy down at the end, we're probably number 2. We trump."
Yeah.
Viewership up and down Media Row.
And
I'm
built
proud
that-
to say that because we have built that from the ground up.
And I saw you, and we all watched you guys do it, because from the rallies in 2016 all the way to this year, the campaign, everything, you guys were always there, and it was the most trustworthy thing. You knew Right Side was going to cover it. And they're the only ones that would pull back and show the crowd when the president says, "Turn those cameras around." The only ones. And that's, you
when the
guys.
red lights go off,
You
ours are
guys
still on.
and we keep, as we've been here, a lot of things we talk about is we need new platforms. We need new this and that. You guys are doing it. It's amazing.
You're very kind to say that.
And how many platforms can get 500,000 live viewers on a speech?
It's funny.
It's incredible.
We're thinking that maybe today, and I don't know, maybe it's not today, that we might reach our record concurrent views on our platforms, but who knows what's going to happen. I will say this: we are continuing to cover news stories built around Trump, built around conservatism. So don't be surprised if we pop up in a major city next week with our cameras to document something. I don't want to say where because I don't want to disclose what's going on, but we're out there trying to make it happen.
are.
So we're little mini filmmakers, right?
Everybody that's doing production or content or filmmaking or news, it's media. We are the ones that have to tell the truth, because otherwise, if you didn't do what you do, if we didn't try to do what we did. The entire country would still be living under this false pretense of a fake narrative.
Yep.
Nobody would know the truth about so many things that you guys have covered. Yep. It's really, this is the direction forward. This is the one thing that's going on right now that I feel good about, which is new networks like this, new content that we're going to do. At least that's going well.
Yes, at least that's going well. God bless Joe that's behind the camera right now back in our corporate office. He's recording on all of this because it's his efforts back in 2015 and all the guys out here right now that have really made it happen. I came in late in the game, right? I already came when the ship had left the port, so I'm just thankful to be here. JJ, Amanda, thank you so much for coming on. And once again, if you want to watch this film, the best way to do it is if you're on Amazon, it's available for you, which, you know what, I got my phone right here, and I got a few minutes tonight before I take this late flight to Texas to do a bunch of voter stuff. So I'm going to watch it. I'm going to finish watching it.
Watch it on the plane, iTunes, and leave a review, because every time the president tweets out our movie, because he's fond of our movie, they go after it to review
hang
bomb
on
it.
a second,
This is
then.
one of the
Maybe I
things
need to
they
pick
do.
it up and watch it right now.
Leave a review, because you got to vote with your reviews.
Well, there you go. All right, we got plenty more from CPAC 2021 right here from Orlando, Florida. Stay tuned.